All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO'S, everybody doing out there? That boy Tekashi 6ix9ine ain't playing around, is he? That boy's snitching, and he's snitching at an elite level. This is elite level snitching right here that's going on. So for those who don't know, Tekashi 6ix9ine months ago has agreed on a plea deal. He's agreed to snitch on all of his homies that were a part of the 9-tray set with him, as they all have been charged with racketeering. It looks like the feds have used Tekashi 6ix9ine as the young innocent bystander who got pulled into the street. Like, we've seen this story so many times in the past, and they're using him by saying you gonna get life or whatever they're using as him, at him as a ploy, right? Or maybe they're saying your homies really didn't like you. We got recorded phone calls of them saying that they was gonna kill you and all that. Whatever the case might be, they've convinced Tekashi 6ix9ine that if you ever want to see the light of day again, or at least in the foreseeable future, you need to rat on all your homies. And Tekashi 6ix9ine is doing just that. 2 more people have pled guilty in this big ass case against this 9-tray set that, again, all revolves around racketeering charges in New York. Kooda B is number 8, and number 9, hope I'm not getting his name wrong, Aljamiah Mack, aka Nuki. These guys have both pled guilty racketeering charges. They face a minimum of 10 years. Kooda B, let's focus on him. Kooda B's case is a little more specific. The feds have actually zoned in on one incident that actually involves another rapper. You might have heard of him. He represents that Chicago, goes by the name of Chief Keef. Now, months ago, back in June, there was a shooting that happened in New York, and it was around the same time that Tekashi 6ix9ine and Chief Keef were having an exchange on social media. It was mostly Tekashi 6ix9ine trolling, if I remember correctly, and pretty much he was trolling Chief Keef, saying he used to be a popping artist that he liked, but he is that no longer. Now, Chief Keef ended up pulling up to New York. Him and a homie of his and his cousin stayed at a hotel that I'm guessing Tekashi got tipped off that Chief Keef would be at this hotel. And Tekashi, in paperwork, ladies and gentlemen, this is stuff that I've read, all right? Tekashi has admitted to giving Kooda B a $10,000 payment to shoot and target Chief Keef. That's in documentation, and now Kooda B has admitted that he was a part of this. He has copped a plea, again, admitting that he took money from Tekashi 6ix9ine to carry out a shooting that targeted Chief Keef back in June 2018. Kooda B's like, I don't really have a choice. The guy's literally saying, I paid Kooda B to shoot at Chief Keef. This dude has agreed with the feds and the court system to not lie about anything. And I'm talking about Tekashi here. So Kooda B was in a no-win situation, and he has pled guilty to these charges, and now is facing a maximum of 20 years. Now, I would assume, because he is pleading guilty and not trying to fight this, that he would not get 20 years, probably looking at 5 to 10. 10 probably seems like the most likely scenario for Kooda B. The U.S. attorney did come out and say today, Kentia McKenzie, aka Kooda B, admitted his responsibility for a brazen shooting in bustling Times Square. In coordination with Tekashi 6ix9ine and other 9-tray gang members, McKenzie, again, aka Kooda B, arranged to have another individual shoot at a rival gang member. We continue our daily work with our law enforcement partners to keep our community safe and to vigorously investigate acts of violence committed by gang members. Again, Kooda B's next court date is August 21st. And I think like a month later, 5 of the 11 defendants that are facing racketeering charges will find out their fate as they will be sentenced. Tekashi 6ix9ine is set to find out his fate still in January of 2020. And from what I'm hearing, ladies and gentlemen, Tekashi believes when his case hits the fan, when he goes to court and finds out how much time he'll do, he genuinely believes, him and his team believe, he's going to walk into that courtroom, say, look at what I've done. I've helped y'all put away a lot of my former homies who've admitted to do a lot of crimes. The judge is going to say, you're right, you've helped us out a lot, and because of what you've done, on time served, you can walk out of the court today. That I'm telling y'all, that's what Tekashi 6ix9ine teams believe. I don't know that to be true. I'm not legally savvy enough to know like how much snitching does it take. I don't know nothing about none of that. But I'm telling y'all what I've heard from Tekashi 6ix9ine's team through multiple reports, right? He believes he's done enough to when it hits January 2020, he's going to get out that day. Like whatever day it is in January, whenever his case, when he has his hearing and he finds out his sentencing, he's going to get out that day. Again, I don't know that to be true. Worst case scenario, Tekashi believes he'll have to do a few more months, and at some point in 2020, he'll be a free man. Again, this was a guy who was facing 10 to 20 years bare minimum just a few months ago. Now, all of a sudden, working with the feds, he feels as if though he's going to get out sooner rather than later, and I'm guessing go into some type of witness protection program. That is crazy to think of, yo. Thank y'all so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. We will obviously keep you guys up to date on this case as it progresses and we find out more about some of the defendants. Again, only two other guys that have not pled guilty yet, and they're probably going to do it soon if they haven't done so already in their minds, right? They're probably going to plead guilty and not try to fight this thing because you got Tekashi snitching. 9 of these 11 guys, including Shotty, Kooda B, and a lot of others have already said, look, homie is snitching. I'm going to just take my charge and take this plea and go about my life. Whenever I get out, it'll be earlier than if I try to fight this thing when we got somebody actively snitching. We'll see what happens. I'm out.
I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Shout out to Mr. TALIAFERRO.
You're watching Mr. TALIAFERRO TV.
Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. Here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.